Today's scripture is taken from Psalms 119, verse 114, which says, "Thou art my hiding place and my shield. I hope in thy word." Hi guys, welcome back to the God Medicine Coffee channel. I am Rihanna and I'm going to be vlogging my second week in surgery rotation. Last week I just kind of wanted to get used to my new schedule, kind of get my bearings first. So once I got that settled, now I feel a little more comfortable to record. So I'm going to be documenting, a week in surgery rotation. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'll keep you all updated as to what this whole rotation entails. So I am now about to head home from a day at the hospital. So this is my second day. I actually went in on a day off of my schedule because I have a day to make up. So today was actually a pretty interesting and exciting day for me because I actually got to do suturing today on my own. Like, the doctor that was supervising me, he did one suture just to demonstrate, to make sure that I know what I had to do, and then he kind of coached me through the rest. So it was a fairly small laceration, so I didn't have to do too many stitches. I just did about 3 in total, and the doctor did about 2, so it wasn't a lot, but I actually got to do it on my own, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, that's one of the more interesting things that happened. And then one of the other students got to do a catheterization on her own, so that was really cool to witness. Like, she handled that procedure like a boss. So hopefully the next one, I think I want to try and do a catheterization on my own. And of course, an IV access. I did attempt an IV access on Tuesday, I think. Yeah, I think I attempted an IV access on Tuesday on my own, but it wasn't successful, like, just because the patient's veins were just, kind of swolly. So I just couldn't get it. So the doctor eventually took over that one for me, but hopefully the next one I get to attempt like a good one. So yeah, but all in all, exciting day. So I have to go and look at some more videos of suturing and really work on my technique. I have some bananas in the fridge, so I can use the peels and practice on it. Yeah, I don't have a needle holder or forceps, but I'll improvise with something I have at home. Excuse me, sorry about that. But yeah, interesting day. I am literally just buzzing with excitement that I got to do my own suture today. Like, yeah, and I'm in my scrubs, yo. Hey, I'm sorry, not really. Guys, so past few days I wasn't feeling too great, but I'm starting to feel a little bit better now. So just heading out for a little bit. I may pass by the yarn store because there's a project that I want to work on, and I don't think I bought enough yarn, so I'm running up the road to see if I can get an extra skein so I could start this project. And then, of course, I'm going to do some light reading, not like studying or anything, but just to kind of brush up on some things, so I could be a little more prepared for when I get back to hospital tomorrow. My appointment didn't go as successfully as I wanted it to this morning, so I will go back for that physical exam next week, Friday, and then I'll go to the chest clinic on Monday to do that whole Mantoux test business. So yeah, so I'm heading to the yarn store. Come with me, I guess. So I am back home after a long day, just out relaxing, balancing, enjoying myself, Yeah, excuse the mess, but here is essentially what I bought at the yarn store. It just looks so messy. My table is really messy, just
Ignore the mess, please. I'm really not this messy all the time. This has been a tough week for me, okay? So, yeah, been having some ice cream. But yeah, I purchased these 2 skeins of yarn before, and I realized that it may not be enough for the top that I wanted to make. So I went back to the yarn store and I got this. So I'm gonna make a really cute kind of cabled vest kind of top with this. And then I saw these and I thought this was really pretty. It's a kind of acrylic mohair. Let me just show you what my other mohair looks like so you understand like why I'm so excited about it. A while ago I had posted a sweater that I made out of cotton and mohair together. Now mohair is a very premium type of yarn that knitters use. It just adds a lot of softness and luxury to whatever piece. So this is some of the mohair that I have remaining from that project. It's a little bit on the pricier side because it's made out of mohair is essentially like goat hair. So this is goat hair on silk. So I think the thread itself is silk, and then the strands, the fluffiness on it is actually goat hair. So it's a little bit on the pricier side. So this is the mohair on acrylic. So the strand itself is acrylic and then the fluff is mohair. So it may not necessarily be as soft as this one, but it will still give like the fluffiness to whatever you're knitting up. And I got it for how much? Let me see. $48, which isn't bad because this costs, one skein of this costs about £6 15 pence. So that's roughly 60 something TT dollars. So it's a little bit, on the pricier side. And to make like a sweater, you need about 5 skeins of these. So yeah, it's, when you think about that, $60 multiplied by 5, that's a lot of money to make a sweater, right? So I got 2 of this, and this is a really large skein. Like this is roughly 200 and something yards. So you could definitely get a lot made. Yeah, so that's why I only purchased 2. And I think I'll insert a picture of the cabled top that I want to do with this color. Like when I saw this color, I was like, this looks so pretty, although this yarn might be a little too thick for the project that I want to make, but I still think I could make it work. I guess I didn't say this before, but if you do follow me on Instagram, you realize that I do love to knit, and I do post some of the projects that I've knitted in the past. So feel free to follow me on Instagram and just kind of peruse and see some of the things that I've made in the past and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, it's one of my hobbies because I just find it very relaxing, very therapeutic. It's just something nice to do, with your hands. I like working with my hands, and I just enjoy doing it because it helps, with my mental health and everything. So yeah, I love to knit. Hey guys, so yeah, I have been really terrible at vlogging this surgery rotation. I think mainly because I've just been feeling really tired. Because the truth is, although we don't get to do a lot at the hospital, there's still a lot to do. Like when you get there, you're in the accident and emergency department of the hospital, one of the busiest places in the entire hospital, right? And you're standing on your feet the whole time. There's not really space or places for us to sit. You're always doing something. If you're not seeing about a patient or shadowing on a case, you're doing some kind of research, some kind of reading. Your mind, always going a mile a minute, trying to do something. So it does leave me feeling a bit exhausted by the time I get home. So I haven't been doing a very good job at like vlogging and documenting things that I do. So I'm sorry, but that's the truth of the matter, is that you do have even though you're not like, you may not be doing the examinations, tests, or or whatever on the patients while you're there, because our scope is very limited because we're just, you know, second year into third year students, right? So our scope of what we're able to do isn't very wide. But, there's a lot to learn with every case that you do shadow on. There is a lot to learn, and you're going to be asked questions. You're going to be required to think a little more critically of the things that you've learned. And you're going to be required to revisit a lot of the things that you learned previously to get back that level of understanding and, retrieve that information and apply it to your cases and stuff. More and more, you would start to realize the importance of really knowing your anatomy and understanding your physiology, all those things. So, yeah, it's a lot. It can, although it doesn't seem like you're doing a lot, it feels like a lot at the end of the day. So, yeah, as the whole truth of the matter with regard to this surgery rotation. But yeah, today I did, learn a lot. Although, it's a Saturday, so the hospital isn't as busy as it is on weekdays, and plus it was a rainy day, which would affect, people coming into the hospital and stuff like that. So that did affect it a little bit. But other than that, today really I felt like my abilities, my learning abilities, my thinking capabilities are really tested today. Although, it's very few cases that we got to see. Still learned a lot. Really grateful for the doctor that kind of helped break down and help us understand ECGs a lot better. Like, I feel a lot more confident about ECGs, because trying to read about ECGs from Guyton is hellish. Don't do that. It's too confusing. Get a simpler textbook that will break it down in much simpler terms. But I just gonna read. Definitely gonna read up the ECGs Made Easy book. Gonna read that, and probably watch. I think I'll probably watch some Dr. Najib videos and see if I get, much better understanding. But the doctor today really, really like broke it down to its bare bones today. Like the, bare basics of it, and really got a better understanding of ECGs today. So, yeah. But, this is essentially the life when you're on rotation. So it is. You have to keep studying, you have to keep reading, you know, and don't take any case that you meet at the hospital for granted, you know. Yeah. But I'll talk a little later about a very interesting case that I saw today as well. Left me feeling kind of sad when I left the hospital, actually. But yeah, I'll talk about it a little later. Hey, good morning, guys. So, again, I'm heading back out to the clinic today. Supposed to go just for routine tests for tuberculosis. No, nothing's wrong with me. I just required to do that for school. So, heading down to the clinic to get that done. Yeah, my hair looks a bit crazy today because it is not extremely like dry, but it's on the brink of getting very dry. So I was supposed to wash it last night, but that wasn't feel good. So I get back home maybe later this evening. I'll wash my hair and it should be back to its former glory. But usually when my hair gets like this, I would just put it in a puff. This is like the easiest thing to do. It doesn't require a lot of manipulation to do, so that's what I do with it. But yeah, very necessary tool that every natural must have, a random piece of string. It's just a given. They just don't make woogies big enough or tight enough, so you need a string.
necessary. My puff. Nice. Big. Very simple outfit of the day. Top made by me. It's a bomber jacket that I got from the Converse store like years ago. And of course, jeans. Simple. Nothing crazy. Hey guys, I am back home and I got my Mantoux test done. So yeah, I mentioned that there was a case that I saw on Saturday that left me feeling kind of bad when I left the hospital. But just to kind of, obviously I can't give too much detail, so I'll kind of talk about it. Essentially, there was a young patient that came in with really bad stomach pains, really, really bad, could barely walk or stand upright. She was in a lot of pain, and there really wasn't much that we could do for her as students. Really, the doctor really talked us through, the differentials, and we learned a lot from the case and stuff like that. What could be the differentials given her history and everything else, what the differential diagnoses could be. And, we brainstormed as a group together, came up with what, we thought was the problem, and then we have the investigations that we have to do to confirm or rule out or kind of help narrow down what exactly was going on with the patient. But she reached out to me just before I was leaving, asking for pain medication because she was in a lot of pain. And after seeing some of the preliminary test results come back, we could kind of see what was causing the pain and stuff like that. So there really wasn't much I could do. I feel like as a student, it's not really my place to tell staff what to do. As much as, we are supposed to be learning to be advocates for patients and stuff like that, it's still, because I don't know, it's not like when the people who are her caretakers, the doctors, the nurses who are seeing about the case, it's not like they report to us and keep us updated as to everything that's going on. So I don't know what they were doing, what they were waiting for before they gave her pain medication. I don't know. So it's not my place to go and tell them hey, doctor, you should give her pain medication. I don't know. So I kind of felt bad in that she was in a lot of pain. And, from the outside looking in, it would just look like to any other person like they were stalling, they were taking too long. But you can't say that for sure because we don't know if the medication could interfere with other tests that they need to do first to confirm what's going on with the patient. We don't know, right? Because in an emergency setting, we are kind of bouncing back and forth between different cases, trying to learn as much as possible because we are very limited in the scope of what we could do. We are not licensed or anything like that. So there's not really much that we could do as students, right? Our main objective is to go there, get exposure, and learn how to apply the principles to clinical settings, right? It's not really for us to diagnose, treat, and manage patients, not really, So I left the hospital feeling kind of bad because I just saw the patient there, just curled up in a ball, just waiting on, the pain medication. I felt kind of bad, but I know eventually she would have gotten, her treatment and stuff like that. She's probably already, discharged from the hospital. By the time I go back out tomorrow, she probably won't be there anymore. I'm probably back home. But, I just felt bad, kind of guilty leaving because, she was in a lot of pain, and she reached out to me and was like, please, and talk to them, let them give me, the pain medication. I need it, in a lot of pain, and you can see that she's visibly hurting. But I don't know if anybody else who are doing rotations, could relate to what I'm speaking about, but yeah. I swear Rituals is going to just have all of my money before the year is through.
While I was there at the hospital, I got this blueberry crumble cake. I don't know, I just love I think really and truly what I like about this cake is really the texture more than the taste. I like the kind of crumbly texture on it, kind of look like that. I just like how it just tastes. It's expensive as hell, but I just like the taste of it. Yeah, it's way overpriced. I wouldn't suggest buying it because it's so expensive. But I just love the texture, and when I saw it, because the last time I went there I didn't see it, so I bought the coffee streusel instead. And now I saw this one and I bought this one, so it's really the texture. Really the texture. I think the first time I had this was at the Rituals in somewhere in Port of Spain, next to or close to El Pecos in Port of Spain. No, the one that close to the Republic Bank. Sorry. But yeah. The first time I had it there, and that's the best one I've tasted, the one at that branch. But yeah, tastes so good. I have a problem. Clearly, I have a problem. Yeah. I haven't had I bought the cookies and cream chiller. I haven't had cookie and cream chiller in a long time. I think like when Rituals just started in Trinidad, like people used to complain about how expensive it was, and the only flavor that people used to order more than anything else was the cookies and cream chiller, because I think people were too afraid to spend so much money on a flavor that they didn't like. So cookies and cream chiller was like all the rave. But now it almost died down. The popularity almost died down to the point that some branches don't even carry the cookies and cream flavor anymore. So when I saw it at the Mount Hill branch, I was like, yeah, I haven't had this in years. So I had a cookies and cream. Delicious. What? How often do us have that?
Enough times.
Well, it's like a once a year thing.
Yeah, passion is more like a stretch.
Okay.
They're taking a jog.
So it's like a weekly thing?
I believe it is like a bi-weekly thing.
Oh my god. It's crazy, man. So I kind of cut my run a little bit short because it's a really petty reason, but there are just some people at the side of the road who are just kind of linemen, and I'm kind of running in between them, so I kind of cut it short because they're kind of annoying me. Kind of want to run alone and just have that kind of me time, so I kind of cut it short, and now I'm just sitting here, you know, watching my husband play frisbee. So yeah, so I am on my way to Mount Hope for a lecture on campus. It's not really, I guess we were told that this lecture was open to any student, so I kind of wanted to go and make it because the hospital that I am rotating at, we don't really have like lectures like other hospitals, so I kind of want to go and make one of them, so I'm heading down to campus for that lecture. I actually just got finished making bread, so thank God it finished in time. I might still get there a little bit late, but better late than never. But at least the bread is done. So yeah, heading out the house now and on my way to campus for the lecture. I also have a very interesting case to share with you all that I saw in the hospital yesterday. It's kind of sad, so I'll give you more details on that when I get home a little bit later. It was just a very rough day yesterday at the hospital, so yeah, I'll share on that case a little bit later. But yeah, my bread.
But if you do, you can just print out all these like
is important. It will not just take you through the emergency department medicine rotation. It will take you through all the
Yeah, now heading home. I am glad that I came to the lecture. It was really good. I learned quite a lot, and I feel good. So thankful that I came to the lecture today, and hopefully if there are any other lectures on my off days, I'll try to join. Guys, so I just got back home from my lecture, so just gonna chill for a little bit, catch my breath, because the sun is so hot today. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. So that means hopefully it rains a little bit tonight, hopefully not too heavily, maybe, but yeah, I'm really glad that I went to the lecture. It was great. We covered the different types of shock and the possible causes for each, and the management for each. So learned a lot, and of course, further reading and research is always necessary. So that's something that I should do, being the emphasis. The key word here is should do. But yeah. But earlier I did mention that I had a case to kind of update you guys on, so I'll do that now. So yesterday was kind of a tough day because we actually witnessed our first loss of a patient. I believe the what caused a patient to die was renal failure. So basically how it all went down is that we were shadowing one of the doctors in the emergency department, and you just heard, a nurse just start screaming, "Code blue, code blue." So the doctor that we were shadowing just disappeared. And she attended to the patient, and some other doctors, joined her in doing the BLS. And from there, the patient was moved to the resus room, and they continued the basic life support to the patient. And with basic life support, you really give 30 chest compressions to 2 breaths, and you do that for 2 minutes, and then you reassess the patient, and you go again for at least 5 cycles or so. So the whole thing probably went on for a little over 20 minutes, where they were administering care to the patient to try to resuscitate the patient. And I think after a certain point, you start giving breaths every 6 seconds. I'm not too sure when that point comes, because of course during the whole thing, the doctors couldn't really stop to explain to us what was going on. We just kind of had to observe and just try to understand. At one point, adrenaline was given to the patient, as well as, I believe, bicarbonate, because assuming that renal failure was the cause, I think I'm assuming that metabolic acidosis came into play, and because the patient did not have a pulse and was not breathing, that the lungs could not compensate for the acidosis, so bicarbonate was given to handle that, and of course adrenaline to try to get the heart going. But with the best efforts that were given by the doctors, the patient did not make it. With everything that was going on, one of the doctors did ask me to bag the patient, so I had to squeeze the bag to administer the breaths.
every 6 seconds. So I was there standing over the patient and watching to see if, if there was a pulse, if the patient had started breathing again. But the whole time I was just looking, and the patient's eyes were partially open, and I was looking to see if there was any response, any signs of life there, and just didn't, So the whole ordeal was, it went, that 20 minutes felt like 5 minutes, like everything just happened so fast, and it was just a lot. The scene was pretty chaotic, in my opinion. It was just really fast. Like everybody was just doing what they knew what they had to do and was just doing it, and everybody was, when one person got tired doing the chest compressions, there was another person waiting to start compressions, and then another. So I can't remember how many doctors were in the room, but there were quite a lot of us there. And of course, us medical students. So we saw the whole thing, and it was just a lot. And I kind of thought of, after they called time of death, I thought about, the family. Like, they probably dropped this patient off to the hospital and, probably told them that, hey, we'll be back, we'll pick you up later, call us if anything, and only to hear later on that, the relative didn't make it. So it's kind of sad. But, it just goes to show that despite, your best efforts, despite doing everything right, not every patient is going to make it. Not everyone is going to survive. And it's just part of it comes with the job, unfortunately. That's, you cannot save everybody, and, you just do the best that you can and try to give the patient, the best care possible, with, the knowledge and the resources that you have. Just give the best possible, and, so it was just a really kind of sad day, and I spent the rest of the afternoon just reading up on renal failure and exactly what happens to the body during renal failure. So there was a lot, and I think one of the doctors was explaining to us, like, after everything, like, why, certain things happen when you're in renal failure. Like, the sugar goes up, potassium, everything kind of just goes out of whack. So it just goes to show, the importance of the kidneys and its role in keeping you alive, keeping your body in balance. And, all these imbalances can result in your death. So, yeah, it was just really sad. So, again, it was a learning experience, and, I still have a little bit more reading to do, but I think I get the gist of, why certain things happen during renal failure. I should do a little more reading just to kind of refresh, just in case, we get asked anything about it at hospital tomorrow. I'm assuming that, once certain doctors are there, they're probably going to ask us about it. So, yeah, so I think I'm sorry to end the vlog on such a sad note, but I think I'm gonna end it here. I hope that you guys have a blessed day, a blessed week, and you continue learning and growing and, making good choices, and you stay safe out there. So I will see you in the next video. Bye.